get ready for the PDC Bowl here. Again, if you were just tuning in, this is the semifinals here. Joe took out Mark Rudge 2-0. Tom took out Berto Santos 2-0. Joe not able to find the bull at all there with that first start. Let's see how Tom follows. Goes a little high. So right back to the line from Mr. Curtin. Again, looking very spiffy with that haircut. Still throwing in a sweater. Putting in monster averages with that sweater. I don't know how the guy does it. Joe not able to follow with a green or red bit of his own, so Tom will be defending his throw to get things going. And ladies and gentlemen, you are joining us live for semifinal action between Tom Curtin and Joe Ricard. Tom will be leading the way here, defending his throw first. Again, that micro correction that we've seen time and time again. So good. Putting up consistent big points there. An 81 punched in, getting things going immediately. And Joe has been no slouch with his darts. He is playing some phenomenal darts. Big 135 to follow the 81. Again, Joe, quite the smooth operator. And if there's going to be one man to push Tom to his absolute limit, it's going to be Joe Ricard. They are right neck and neck. Well, not neck and neck in the stats, but Joe is not too far behind. The bookies would not really pay out if you were to bet against Tom if Joe is the guy taking him on. And again, follows his 135 with the 100. Consistently great stuff. Great way to get off the line there from Joe Ricard, and Tom hunting down that triple 20 bit. Tries to hammer away just low. Looks like the flight pushed it down. So only 100 there. Joe has such a smooth action. Winds up and fires and manages to skate that third one off of those first two. So 135, 100, 100 is the order of shots there for Joe. Tom doing very well to find that switch down to the trip 19. So 97 punched in. But again, Joe actually is not sitting at an out, so a little bit of math error there. Tom sitting at a 140. Needs to find a triple here to leave himself something handy. Can't find it, so only 40. And Tom, this 140 you feel might have to go here. Certainly capable of finding it. Won't go. The combination not found there, so only 40. 100 left. And does find that triple. It makes it look so easy, folks. It's a lot more difficult than it looks, as I'm sure everybody following along surely knows. Looking to find that triple for 76. Can't find it. Go back upstairs. And finds that triple 20. So 98 scored there for Joe. But he's going to be a step behind. And this is why it's so important, so pivotal to win that bull. It will give you the first crack at an out here. And Tom just low on that second one. And he pulls it inside on that third one, scraping the wire on both the 20 and the 10 bed. So Joe with a huge opportunity here to break right off the gate. Oh, right in the corner. I thought that was in. And he won't go. Might have done well to split there instead of chase that double 7. He chooses to bust. So no break out of the gate for Joe, and Tom with a huge sense of relief here. But he can't find the double 5. Chooses to correct, leaving himself 4, and Joe can't afford to let this opportunity slip. Has to find it here. We'll walk it inside. And a little bit of a nervy start from both gentlemen here. Opportunities given and opportunities lost. Will the chasing stop here? Tom believing that's in. Wow, it's so close. And he finds it with that third, so a scrappy defensive throw there from Mr. Curtin. Joe putting pressure on immediately and as I was saying before we kicked off here, the one thing that Tom struggles with is when he misses that double 20, he misses that double 16, he starts to chase the more uncommon doubles. It starts to get not as clinical, not as sharp. Joe was going to have to take advantage of that, and Joe a little slow off the start. He will look to hold throw here. Tom looking to break, and he finds the big 140. Solid stuff, solid darts there from Tom. Joe under immediate pressure to get things going. Can't afford two bad visits in a row. Only 60 found, but for these guys, that's not enough. Tom more than capable of putting up 60 plus every single time. Point proven. And a solid 100 there, so leaving himself 261 after two visits to the board. And Joe under pressure to get going here. You feel like he needs a two treble visit here at the minimum. Can't find any gold there. Only a 45. So a little bit of a bleak outlook here in this second leg. Joe at risk of being broken unless he can find some big darts. Tom with a little bit of a messy visit there, only 41. So Joe, again, a big visit here will put him right back in the running, and that 5 is just going to break his heart. Still has two darts in hand. And just underneath on that third one, another 45. A little bit of a drop dart there. Again, he's focusing so hard on nailing that 20 bed. Easy to let those things slip. Can't quite split the middle with those two darts. That third one finding its way into the 555. So no out for Tom Curtin, and Joe, a 180 here will certainly raise a lot of questions. Even a 140. And that'll do quite nicely. Way to slot that in there, Mr. Ricard. No out again, though, leaving himself 166, and this is a setup shot from Tom only. Well, might go bullseye here. Choosing to go the 15s. So 95 scored. Leaves himself 70. Same script for Joe. Nothing but a setup visit for Joe here. Can't find that trip 18 switch, so 98 punched in. Tom looking at 70. Finds that triple 10, so two darts at double 20. He's going to have to go right back down to double 10. And he can't find it. Scrapes the outside wire, so here is another big opportunity for Joe. But this time he has to do it. He has to hold throw here. And that one is going to throw a wrench into everything. Leaves the bullseye. Oh, and he just can't find it. Only finds the single ball. Great attempt, though. Great bid. Looks like a little bit of a issue there with the tablet. Tom looking at 210s. Pulls it inside again, goes upstairs. And he finds it this time, no messing about. So a scrappy defense. And then a clinical break there from Tom, but again, relying on Joe making mistakes. Both guys in the high 60s, high to mid 60s, so this is not stellar play from both guys, not the upper echelon that we're used to seeing from these guys, but I believe Tom said in week 2 or week 3, if you can't win ugly, you don't deserve to win at all. Not that these are really ugly darts, ladies and gentlemen, but we want to see the 80-plus averages, the 90-plus, 100-plus average games that these guys are capable of producing. Joe finding the trip 7 there, so 61 on the board. Tom still pulling in front here, and he'll look to get this set wrapped up on his throw. If he was writing the script, finds another 100. Again, so reliable on that big scoring, the ton-plus scoring. Joe doing very well to find that red bit. Finds 2 in there. 140 throws him right back into the lead. 300 points remaining, but Tom sitting at 320. And again, he will have first crack at an out if things go his way. Will he fill it up? No, another 140. 180s are few and far between tonight for Mr. Curtin. Not leaving himself an out either. Joe will have to find at least one in there. Can't find it. So 240 remaining after 3 visits to the board. Tom looking to set up. Wants another to leave tops. Can't find it, so he will leave himself 80. And it really all comes down to what Joe hits here. If he hits big, it might just rattle Tom. But he can't find the red bit there, so another 60 punched in. And again, no out for Joe. And he's going to go tops. I had a feeling he was going to do this. And he can't find it, so under no pressure, he's going to have 3 more darts at it. And Joe saying, come on, why are you trying that against me? And I guarantee you, folks, if we didn't watch him put 3 in there in warm-ups, he wouldn't have done it. Tom going for a little bit of spice in this game. Wants the spicy way out. Joe finding 100, so leaves himself 80, but Tom wants to take this right here, right now. And he finds it with that first dart, so just like that, 3 legs on the spin, 1 set locked away. And Tom is on a flyer to try and speed run the night, but Joe, we know he has a lot to say on that matter, and he'll look to get right back to business here. Wants another in that red bit. Does well to find the 100. Tom won't find the 180. 140, there it is. Solid darts there, a solid start, and again, that big scoring coming in clutch and being so key. Tom finding those opportunities and really making his own opportunities by so reliably scoring in the early visits here. 95 punched in, not a bad visit from Joe. Again, this is the caliber that these guys play at, where 1 dart in the 5 or 1 is a huge mistake. And these guys practice and do their best to minimize those errant darts as best as they can. We might have a little bit of a hardware issue for Mr. Curtin. He did drop his dart. Maybe he snapped a point. Maybe he broke a flight, so we'll have to see. I wonder if we go to the commercial screen, we can actually see what's going on. So yeah, a little bit of a hardware issue there for Tom. So he's going to be fixing that as we wait for him to finish up that quick fix there. Let me go check in on Ron Sargent and Justin Burke in the other semifinal. Ron off to a 1-0 start, but both guys shooting very well. Provide you guys some more updates as the night goes on, as that game develops. All right, back to business here, though. Looks like that pause in play did Tom no favors. That 38. Not an accurate representation of his skill or where he's firing at right now. Joe looking to just do more of the same. Wants another 20. 100 will do just nicely. Tom under a little bit of pressure here. Good 10+ points back, and that one, there, micro correction is great again. And looks like 66 scored. Can't quite see because of the camera angle. 81. So Joe, big opportunity to cash in here if he just does more of the same. Needs to keep it steady, needs to keep it straight, and well, caster's curse. Again, that is not the dart that you want to throw. You just want to keep it consistent. Even a 60 would have done nicely there. But sloppy visit there, only 36. And this just opens the door right back for Tom to hit big and find his way to something manageable. Can't find that red bit there, so only 60, and Joe looking at the biggest fish. Will we see someone finally take it out? No, we will not. And chooses to stay there on the 20s, finds the 100 to leave himself 70, so Joe more or less has this hold of throw in hand here if he can just keep it steady. And Tom trying to find something to put the pressure on. And that will be a sigh of relief for Joe as he eyes up this 70. Can he find it? Taking a step, taking a breath, focusing. Finds the trip 18. And he finds the double 16, a clinical take. Those are the darts that Joe is capable of producing. Again, a little bit of a sloppy start here from both guys in the opening set. Both guys plenty of chances, but Joe realizing that he cannot mess around if he wants to put the pressure on. Tom doing very well to find that triple 20 there at the end. Third dart saver. Oh, my bad. It was a bust. Apologies, everybody. And he can't find it. Oh, my goodness. My head was in the clouds there. Again, poor caster math by me. Tom looking to salvage this, too, at tops. And he finds the double 1, needs to go downstairs, and he can't find the double 19. So, again, a big mistake from Joe, big mistake from me with the counting. But Joe with opportunities here to correct those wrongs. Eyeing up double 16. Finds the double 8, one more of those. No, it's not in, Joe. And he can't get there. The second acted as a blocker. So unfortunate, so unlucky. And Tom finding the big 19. Corrects with the 3, so one dart at double 8. And he can't find it. He goes outside. So Joe with more opportunities. He's going to have to compose himself here and find this out. And there it is. First dart, a shake of the head. He knows that was a lot scrappier than it should have been. A bump of the fist there from Tom Curtin saying, well done. Again, apologies, everybody, for the unnecessary hype. And only 60 scored from Tom. So Joe, if he keeps getting off the line, as he has been so far, we'll have nothing to worry about. But that second one is quite the blocker. Very bold to stay there. That might have been the wrong decision. Again, trip 19, trip 18, that switch is a lot better in that situation when you can't even see the bed. Tom doing very well to work his way up, finding 100. Joe has to get going here. Doesn't want to be at risk of falling too far back. And can't find the triple segment, so only 43, and Tom might just take this to start really getting his legs going. Finds 2. And he can't find the third again. The 180 so elusive tonight for Tom. All over that triple 20 segment. Joe sitting at 200 points back. Has to get going here. Needs at least 2 triples. And finding all the wrong ones right there. Wrong side of the wire. And Tom under no pressure working with 201. First dart is huge. Does very well to correct there with the 125. Again, taking a little bit of a mid-visit exploration into the 5s, but leaving himself 76 after 4 visits is stellar work. And Joe just unlucky in this leg. He'll already be thinking about the next leg. This one might already be done and dusted unless Tom starts to mess about. Does very well to correct. Again, under no pressure. Joe not in and out, so he can hit big numbers is all that he, well, as much as he pleases, really. And Joe just looking to just put his arm, keep it straight, keep it relaxed, not put too much pressure on it. And Tom eyeing up 220s. And he finds it with the first, so again, Joe, he would have not been taking that leg too seriously there towards the end. Again, if you are going to lose a leg of darts, you want to do it on the other guy's throw. This is Joe's set to defend here. So 3 defenses, 3 holds of throw. We'll see him through to a deciding set. It is Tom's responsibility to try and find a break here. 81 punched in from Joe. Let's see what Tom can do. Joe not going to be happy with that 100 that managed to squeak its way in there. Solid dart, solid visit from Tom. Joe showing a little bit of frustration there with that second one. A little bit of a flyer, but it does very well to correct. Put that dart down and slam it into the 20 segment. Triple 20 segment. All over it. And Tom just unlucky there. All the darts just hovering around that triple 20 segment, but not able to punch in any solid points. So, bit of a reprieve provided by Tom for Joe. And that's 2 sloppy darts there. And he can't save it with the third, so both guys getting a little nervy here. Of course, as I say that, Tom fires away. Will he find another? No, another 140. Again, the frustration might be building up from Tom. Takes a little bit of a pause. Might do well just to keep that rhythm going, and Joe will look to follow with more of the same. Looks like 2 in there. And another 140 again, no 180. But both guys neck and neck down the line here. Bit of a drag race, but Joe is first 2 and out. And 100 punched in from Tom, so he'll be looking at 118 remaining. Joe with a bigger take, 154. Will he get the combo going? He will not. 134 remaining. Might switch to the trip 18s, might stay. Chooses to stay, still he'll have 94 left. Tom working with 118. And those are 2 horrible darts there. That's not what Tom would have wanted. He might have saved it with that third one. Can't quite see. No, only 19. So Joe needs to keep his throw, needs to find it. 99 is a 3-dart combo, but still very capable for Tom. Joe finds the first one, so the combo's on. 2 at tops. And he finds it, a 2-dart clinical take. Stellar stuff from Joe Ricard. Awesome darts. And that is fantastic stuff, putting the pressure right back onto Tom. So Tom needs to hold here, and Joe wants to break to wrap up this set. Does very well to find that switch, and that's something that we've seen from Tom time and time again. He goes down, he goes to the 18s. Some of these guys, when they have a blocked bed, they're choosing to try and bust their way through, and that's so risky. Joe finding his way to another 100. And great starts. Save you a lot of trouble down the line. And Tom just looking to follow, looking to produce more of the same. Follows that visit with 100 of his own. So now the question is back to Joe. What can you do with your 3? And that is a great response. That's another great answer, so back-to-back hundos. And there's the mistake. Will we see more? No, of course not. He corrects quite well, and he finds the 2 trebles. Solid stuff. Solid 1-2-2 from Tom Curtin, and Joe has to produce. That's a great start. Will he keep the line? He finds the 140. This is some awesome stuff. Great display of scoring power, and Joe is first 2 and out on Tom's throw. Tom doing very well to leave himself 82, but Joe will have the first crack at a 161. Can he get the combo started? He cannot, so he can only hope to correct. Needs to find a triple. Finds the bolt, 90 scored, but we have seen 82 taken out by Tom before. He won't find a bull at all. So Tom, sloppy, and he knows it. Giving himself some words there, and Joe with a big opportunity at 71 to wrap up this set. Can he take it? 6 scored, so 65 remaining. And he can't find the single bull. Might have been better to go for the 15 there, but that dart's gone, so he has to correct. Finds 8 there, so Tom a little bit of a snicker there. Might be some mind games being played. 31 to leave himself 40, and Tom working with 49. Finds the 17, so he'll have 2 at double 16. And he finds it with the third, that half step up, saving Tom's skin, and we are going to a deciding leg in this second set. Joe is fighting for his life so far. Well, looking to keep his night alive, and Tom is just trying to push off the potential usurper and try to get another night in the finals. And only a 45 start for Joe. 60. Camera angle there making it a little awkward. And Tom not doing well to get off on the right foot. Only 40 punched in, so the 60 will not go punished by Joe. And that might be 66. It is 66. So Joe not finding that gear that he needs, but again, the nerves are starting to come out from both guys. Another 40, back-to-back 40s from Tom Curtin. And Joe, a big visit here would really put the dagger into Tom's heart. Looks like 2 in there. And he finds the 180, and that is timing, ladies and gentlemen. That is what darts is all about. That 180 is huge from Joe. And Tom just trying to keep mentally collected here. Darts is a finicky, tricky game, but timing is everything in that 180. Job's not done, but it puts him out in front by some margin. And the 60 will do just nicely to leave himself 135. And Tom needs to get things going here if he wants to try and close out. But only 41. He might be thinking about the next set, how he can reset. Joe still wants to take big bites of this, if not the whole thing, and that one is shaky stuff. Might go to the trip 18s here, get rid of the 4. Likes to stay on the 20, so 41 scored. And again, a 180 might raise some questions. 140 will do nicely. Not able to find anything. So Tom not taking big bites out of the apple here. Only hitting a 60 there, so Joe, more darts, 94. Setting up quite well. 54 scored, so he will leave himself 40, and Tom working with 260. And a 180 would be quite interesting here, folks, but a 140 is the maximum now, and even then he can't find it. Only 83. Just the wrong side of the wire for that third dart. So Joe, 6 darts at 40. Would love to take it here. And he does find it, so we are going to go to a deciding set. Joe finding it. That big 180 there in that leg was critical. Timing everything in darts, and that is exactly what Joe needed. And again, for Joe to hold it together in a do-or-die leg and to find that big visit. Well, that's what this game is all about. I'm sure he felt fantastic after hitting that. So a little bit of a pause here. Might be doing a little bit of a bathroom break. Might be doing a little bit of a walk around the facility here. Again, the stress of trying to hold your throw, hold your set. Some stressful stuff there. It's a little bit of a scoreboard check from the other game that we have going on. We have Ron Sargent and Justin Burke on board 2 in the other semifinal. Currently, Ron Sargent is up 1-0, and they're just getting going in the second set. And Ron with a 140-100. So Ron playing some phenomenal darts. We might see a rematch of last week's final if Ron and Tom find their way through. There's still plenty of darts to be played, though, so no guarantees. Justin Burke has been playing very, very well. Also, big congratulations to Justin for getting some points on the board tonight. Needed those 2 points to try and, well, keep his hopes alive of not playing off against Tom Curtin in the playoffs. Nobody wants to get Tom as the first round in the playoffs. It's like, well, waking up and seeing the Grim Reaper, realizing that you have to play a match of darts against him. Nobody would want to do that. Looks like both guys taking a little bit of a break before we get going with the third set here. iPad's been updated. Tom is there. So because Tom won the bull, he will have the advantage of throw here in the deciding set. So again, Tom, just looking at 3 holds of throw to find his way to the final. Joe will have to find a break if he wants to punch his ticket through. A little bit of a sloppy start from both guys here. But there's the triple 20 that Tom is so reliably found. And will we see it filled up? No, we will not. Again, another 180 gone by the wayside. Only a 125 found. And Joe, looking to follow, needs to find the red section. Splitting in the middle would be nice here. Can't find it, only 60. Tom just below the wire there. Tries to go over and can't find it. Ends up going all the way around it. Only 38. And again, it's that situation where it's really curious why the players don't go down to the 19s or even across the 18s. Things can get so muddled when you have flights in the way of the triple 20 segment. It's just easier to switch. But again, preference and style is everything, and these players are playing quite well. A big 140 there from Tom Curtin, so he is pushing the ball forward. And Joe is falling further and further behind, but again, if you are going to lose a leg of darts, you want to do it on the other guy's throw. And again, nothing is being found from Joe, and the honey pot is plentiful for Tom. A little bit of a smirk there. And that 3 throws a monkey wrench into the machinery. But he does very well to correct, so he will leave himself 60, which is a very, very common take. Certainly for Tom. And Joe needs a 140 here to ask questions, but won't find it, so can only look to take big bites. The 276, but can't find it. Looking 2 darts at tops. And both flyers. So again, Tom under no pressure to get it done there, but Joe, a big visit here would put some pressure on. Needs another. Can't find it, so 116 remaining. That's just not enough pressure to really rattle Tom, who takes it with that first dart, keeps cool, keeps collected. Again, pressure and timing is everything. If you can get your opponent stuck on a common double, but if you're right there behind him, tapping him on the shoulders, it just changes the dynamic just a little bit, just enough. And that third dart, a little sloppy there for Joe. Just the wrong side of the wire again, and those mistakes, will they start to snowball? Tom doing very well to find that switch. Again, the 20 segment looked a little blocked there, so finding good points. What could have been a scuffed visit. Joe just not finding that triple magic that we were seeing in legs gone by. Again, Tom is going to make you pay if you don't pony up with the points. And another 140 fired in from Tom. Pressure mounting up for Joe. Needs more of that. Has to go back up just a little bit. Can't find it, so only 100. Keeping even, but this is his throw to defend. Tom looking for that critical break. And only 41 found, so pressure off for right now, but Joe still has to find the darts. The flight looks like it pushed that dart up. Looks like it was going into that triple 20 bed, but leapfrogging his way back into the lead. Tom, big opportunity here to potentially set himself up for an out. Can't find it, so 180 left. No out for Tom. Joe looking to score big and drive his way down the field, but that one, again, might be just a little too rushed off the start there. And that just will not do. 161 is manageable, but not what you want to leave yourself if you can afford it. Looks like, what, 90 punched in by Tom? Sorry, 100. Caster math right there. So close. And Joe looking at 161. The combo will not get going here. Probably go downstairs instead of staying there, but can't find any other triples there. So leaving himself 71, and Tom, 3 darts at 80. 60 left. 1 dart at tops to break Joe Ricard. And he finds it. That is a punishing dart. And Joe, out of working so hard to tie this game, all of a sudden finds himself in a situation that is a little all too familiar for everybody. That is 2 legs down to Tom Curtin. Tom will have advantage of throw here. Does very well to correct into that triple 20, so 95 fired in. Joe has to produce, has to find his game now if he wants to keep his hopes of moving on alive. Only finding 60, so that triple magic is turning into treble trouble, visit by visit here. Tom not finding anything worthwhile there either, so Joe eyeing up the board, trying to find something. And again, he's just struggling to put 3 together there. You really have to feel for Joe. The opportunities that Tom is providing him, they don't come around very often, and Joe is just not capitalizing on them. And Tom, with the immediate punish on that previous visit, 100, again, inching closer to the finish line. And again, he cannot find the triple 20 segment, only 60. So this is where the pressure really starts to relieve itself for Tom. And will we see a 171? Yes, we will. Beautiful darts there from Tom. That 171 was absolutely fantastic, and what a leave. 94 left. And Joe has to find something to keep this going. Won't find the 140, only finding 95. So Tom, no pressure to get this done here, but would love to punch out if he can. 78 scored, going double 8, and he finds it. Wow, gets it done. Is that math correct? That is correct. And Joe, we just do a little bit of math here. It looks like it's correct. Just want to be extra sure after that previous mistake, and it is correct. Tom, wow. Again, big credit to Joe Ricard there for doing so well to tie the game up at one set apiece, but sometimes you just get a little unlucky and the triples, the big scores, just elude themselves. And unfortunately for Joe, the scoring just eluded itself a little too much.